22, are you calling animal control?
No, hoping you would. The only thing that we can do is really shoot them.
Welcome back to the LackLuster channel. In early March of 2024, the Benton County Sheriff's Office received a call from a local resident alleging that 3 dogs were loose and were barking at his son's dogs through a fence. The man went to his son's home to scare the dogs off, but was unsuccessful. He had tried to call animal control first, but they refused to respond to the call because they already had dangerous dogs at their compound. Instead, 3 deputies were dispatched, loading their rifles the very second they heard animal control wouldn't take the dogs.
Yeah, I called the DMV phone number and they can't take them. He said he currently has 2 dangerous dogs per kennel.
The dogs lost interest in the fenced canines and left on their own, so the deputies drove around looking for the dogs, intending to shoot them.
The only thing that we can do is really shoot them. Animal control can't come out here.
Yeah.
If they're being aggressive.
But the dogs weren't being aggressive. In fact, the deputies watched them playing in a field close by for a while.
I think now they're trying to get back because there's 2 dogs, so I think they're trying to get into there.
Yeah, we'll have to be really careful with shoot.
I'm sure there's somebody's with having all 3 of them, but...
Yeah, let me make a phone call.
Okay.
They followed the dogs around for nearly an hour, looking for a way to declare them as potentially dangerous or dangerous. To be declared as a dangerous dog, it must have inflicted serious injury to a human or killed a domestic animal. A potentially dangerous dog is defined as one that has inflicted bites on a human or pet, chases people in a menacing fashion, or is known to attack unprovoked. But everything the deputies heard about the dogs pointed to the opposite.
And then confirm they were aggressive towards you? They charged you?
They didn't charge me.
Okay, so now that I talked to him, he said he never got out of his truck. And so he said the dogs were barking and seemed aggressive, but they never charged at him.
For over an hour, they followed the animals, but eventually lost track of them. Deputy Guillen eventually spoke to a resident that witnessed the dogs running loose.
We lost track of them. I'm not sure where they went to, but they've been here in this area, and then they were trying to get at those dogs down there.
Yeah, because there's 2 or 3 dogs down there, and
Yeah.
we have a couple up, but they're fenced.
Okay. Yeah, they're in this area running around. They came down to this property down here.
Yeah, they were on the
Okay.
canal bank earlier today. My wife saw them walking, and they weren't crazy aggressive, but she felt a little uncomfortable. She just walked back home. So they've been walking up. They could have been dumped.
But they're yours, though?
No.
Oh, on the phone you told me they were yours.
No, I
Oh.
have 2 dogs here. They're just golden retriever and a little, I don't know, they're uncollared.
Yeah.
So that usually tells me that they were probably dropped.
Okay.
Then how do you hook them up, right?
Yeah, we let animal control
Control
know, but they're not being aggressive anymore, and they went that way.
Well, they don't look crazy aggressive, though. You know?
Okay.
After declaring that the dogs weren't aggressive and having a witness state that they didn't look aggressive, the deputies leave to find the dogs again.
If you do see them back and they do become aggressive, make sure you call us and let us know.
Okay.
Once again, they attempt to call animal control.
22, are you calling animal control?
No, hoping you would.
Eli, do you want to give me the number?
I'm already calling.
Once again, they got no answer, so they decided that the dogs must die. With the dust cover of her rifle open, Officer Guillen attempts to pull the sling over her head backwards before removing it and donning it on the correct side. The bolt carrier group of the rifle was locked to the open position, and the charging handle was unlocked and extended. It also appears as though she unlocks the bolt to chamber a round prior to returning the charging handle to the locked position. To add to the insanely poor handling of a firearm, only one of the 3 officers grabs hearing protection as they now meet to have a brief discussion about shooting the dogs.
If we could get that in the canal, if we could get them down in the canal, that'd be better too, but... Well, that's smart.
Any objections? I mean, bring out of audience here. You know what I mean? Just where
see a fence in the background, ricochet.
Yeah, we just gotta make sure that our backstop is
I know we're not going to catch him.
With their body cams off and muted, the officers move into the field. Deputy Guillen then removes her eye protection to take a shot.
I'm gonna go put him out of their misery.
After laughing about the situation, the deputies move in to check on the dogs.
The first one was probably pretty quick.
Yeah. It's fair.
Man, they started barking and they were going.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy smokes.
I'm still recording, but yeah.
Yeah, my body camera's on.
Realizing that one was still alive, the corporal fires again to end the dog's life.
Do you want me to call animal control, see if they'll come pick them up?
Yeah. And then the third one's still out here somewhere.
I'm surprised the other one's not coming down.
No one else on Earth is surprised that the third dog ran away.
Yeah, it's cool.
Good shots. I was getting ready to go for this one,
Hey,
and
you
I was
there?
like, it dropped.
Yeah, sorry, I should have called it out, but I was...
No, you're good. I just wanted to make sure when this one came alongside the fence, I wasn't sure. I kind of got a little bit with the backdrop.
Yeah. And my backdrop was pretty good.
Yeah, he's not answering on 2 attempts.
Okay.
With no answer at animal control, the deputies decided to leave the deceased dogs in place for 48 hours until animal control got back to work on Monday morning.
Well, we can talk to these people, see if they're okay with leaving them, because I don't want to put them in my car for now.
We're actually looking for the third one now. As far as removing them from there, what are your thoughts? Is it something where we can wait till animal control comes and gets them on?
Yeah, we're going to Pullman.
Okay.
Yeah, they're fine, right? Unless the coyotes come.
Sure.
And they come around here once every about 2 weeks. They circle around, but not as much as they used to. So
Okay.
I'll keep an eye on them.
Okay. Either that or if you can think of something else, because I've been trying to get a hold of our animal control to come and pick him up, and he's not answering.
Okay. Okay.
But they're looking for the second. They're looking for the third one.
But Corporal Martinez proudly writes that he thought twice about that after documenting it in a public record. A witness would later call the sheriff's office to complain that the deputies had shot the dogs while they were playing in the field. Dispatch thought it would be a good idea to patch the caller into the man who shot the animals. For the record, the United States Postal Service makes nearly 50 billion deliveries each year, and during their visits to literally every mailing address in the country, they are responsible for exactly 0 dog killings. In contrast, law enforcement responds to only 250 million calls per year, but kills over 10,000 dogs during their encounters. But this incident is more than questionable. Between the refusal to even respond by animal control, the officers' own statements, and their failure to even attempt to capture the animals, the untimely death of the dogs seems almost calculated. The third dog, Tank, was lucky enough to wander out of the Benton County Sheriff's jurisdiction and was captured by the Kennewick Police Department's Animal Control Unit. But to make matters worse, not only did the government officials hunt and put 2 of the animals down, 10 days after the pets were killed, the owners received a summons to appear in court for a civil hearing to label the surviving dog as a dangerous dog. The summons claims that the dogs trapped a man in his vehicle, but in a letter signed by the alleged victim, he claims that the dogs did not jump or lunge. Instead, it says that he was simply uncomfortable exiting his truck because they were barking and jumping on the fence. The sheriff had planned a press release in late March, but eventually canceled it because public concern was raised at a county commissioner's meeting. He met with the dog's owner, Michelle, who says that they failed at communicating, but the sheriff declares publicly that the shooting was within policy, but they will evaluate their procedures after hearing from the community.
I don't want my dog's death to be in vain. I mean, nothing is going to bring him back, but I just want the other animals in the community to have a chance. So that's my biggest thing.
Michelle is due in court in late April, and I'll update you on the outcome. But until then, let me know what you think of this mess. Should Tank be labeled a dangerous dog, though the deputies were the only ones that caused any harm? Or do you think the shooting and subsequent celebration was justified?
I'm gonna go for the other one. Good shots. I was getting ready to go for this one,
Hey,
and
you
I was
there?
like, it dropped.
Are you surprised that just 2 weeks after this shooting, the deputies did not fire at this horse that got out? Michelle has lawyered up, but in lieu of receiving donations, she asks that all contributions be made to local resources. So if you'd like to donate, her recommendations will be linked below.